Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Shiny and I handle content at AdTech. And today we have with us experts from Adjust to talk about connected television, the next big thing in advertising. Ad spend for connected TV, popular known as CTV, in 2020 was around $8 billion US. In 2021, this figure is expected to rise to $11 billion US. And by the end of 2024, it will be approximately $18 billion US, which is kind of more than double of what the 2020 spend was in a period of 4 years. Now, this meteoric rise of connected television is fueled by many factors, including the lockdowns, cheaper access to internet, streaming devices, and of course, faster adoption of digital content in the last few months. This, of course, creates a big avenue for advertisers to capture audience interest and time. However, whenever CTV is discussed in an advertising context, most people still tend to think of video ads preceding or interrupting streaming content. But there is so much more to this. To bust some of these myths and bring out the opportunity for brands in the CTV space in India, we have with us some experts from the Adjust team who are Gijsbert Pols, the lead product strategist at Adjust, and in conversation with him is Sarah Liebman, who is the product marketing manager at Adjust. Welcome, Gijsbert and Sarah, and over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am a product marketing manager here at Adjust. Previously to Adjust, I worked at a streaming service in the US, so I'm very passionate about the connected TV space. So today we're going to be discussing connected TV advertising and ensure you have everything you need to know about how to get started with connected TV and measurement. So I'd like to introduce my colleague Gijsbert, who is our lead product strategist here at Adjust and resident CTV expert. So here's Gijsbert.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Happy to be here, Sarah.
Awesome. So I'll be asking a few questions to Gijsbert so he can share his knowledge with us. So let's start with the most basic one, but definitely very, very important. What is connected TV or CTV?
Yeah, well, you already have the abbreviation there. So CTV stands for connected TV. I think the best way to think about this is as a device category. So a way to describe specific devices. And it covers smart TVs, streaming devices, so sticks, setup boxes, and sometimes even gaming consoles, with all used to watch television content via the internet, and thus replacing traditional or linear television, which received content via cable or via satellite. Now, the purpose of connected TV is, well, to get video content in via the internet. What's interesting is because of this internet connection, we see that the nature of the TV device is changing somewhat, and it's opening up for other purposes. Yes, most people use connected TV devices to watch streaming services, Netflix, Hotstar, but we also see now that people are starting to play more games via their connected television devices, or do yoga in front of their connected TV devices.
Awesome. And can you just describe a little bit more about how this ecosystem works for the advertiser and just in general?
So it's relatively comparable to how the app industry works. You have three players: the device suppliers, the operating systems, and the app developers. The device suppliers, they give you the streaming device, or the smart TV, or the gaming console. You can think of Sony as an example, or Samsung. And then you have a couple of operating systems for connected TV, Android TV, Tizen, used by Samsung, Roku, or Fire TV. And then on these operating system, you have various apps, most of them apps by streaming services, such as Netflix or Hotstar. But as mentioned, increasingly also gaming applications and apps from other verticals. Now, obviously, there's some overlap. Samsung, for example, functions as a device supplier as well as an operating system. It has its own operating system, Tizen, functioning on the smart TVs it supplies. And there are, in fact, companies that cover all three categories, such as Amazon. Amazon supplies devices, the Fire TV stick, and it has its own operating system, and it even has its own streaming service with Prime. The same goes for Roku, which is a very important player in the US. So that's how so to say, those are the main players. If you think about, approach it from business models, device suppliers and operating systems are all purchase-based. You buy a connected TV device and that's it. Now, for the apps, particularly the streaming apps, there are two types. The ones that are advertising-based and the ones that are subscription-based. Usually abbreviated as AVOD and SVOD. So that stands for advertising video on demand or ad-based video on demand, and subscription video on demand. Now, an obvious example of subscription video on demand is Netflix. You don't have ads on Netflix, you just pay and then you get. But we see more and more AVOD, so ad-based streaming service entering the market.
Yeah, so obviously it's a kind of huge and complex market worldwide, but I was just wondering, how big is connected TV in the Indian market?
Okay, so let's start on the basic level when it comes to devices. Now, Indian people own connected TV devices. The most recent stat I saw was from 2020, which said that 17.8% of the population owns a streaming device or a smart TV. That may not seem mind-blowing, 17.8%, but however, if you think about it, these devices are not individual devices. They're household devices. And if you think then that 17.8% of the population owns one, then you think that, well, a substantial number of households have a connected TV device, and you can look at it from the money. So connected TV is a $207 million market as of now, and over the next 3 years it will grow into a $500 million market. So the basics are there. People have the connected TV devices to stream. Now, if you look at the consumption when it comes to streaming, the streaming revenue in India is currently $2.9 billion and is expected to grow to 6.7 billion by 2026. That's a huge growth over 5 years. If you look at the number of users of SVOD services, so only the subscription, we are already talking about 191 million. This is expected to grow to 207.4 million by the next year. So the connected TV devices are there, people are buying them, they're going to buy more, and they're using them in terms of streaming.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. There's huge growth there. So can you just tell us a little bit more about why CTV is important for marketers, specifically in India?
So there's a quantitative and a qualitative argument. I think I gave you already a little bit of the first argument. It's just that the audiences are there. And now the nice thing about connected TV is because it's in a sense digitalized TV, you can now target people directly. Yeah, you're not throwing something into a void as with traditional TV branding campaigns, but you can select the audiences that are relevant for your product and send them your CTV ads directly. The qualitative arguments are, I think that's a twofold. So I think historically TV has always offered advertisers the highest quality, when it comes to presenting a product, visually, acoustically, even in terms of storytelling, you had to time to get a message across. Now, CTV goes beyond that. It sort of continues those qualities of the TV and adds more. If you only think about interactivity, right? You can now make sure that people start interacting with a product directly off the connected TV screen. And then, yeah, again, you have all the targeting capabilities. So at best, it brings the best of both worlds, digital and TV together.
Yeah, it really just feels like there's endless opportunities in this space. And I remember when I was working at the streaming service and we were just sort of getting started into it, we didn't really know where to start for connected TV advertising. So I was just wondering if you could give us a rundown. If I'm an advertiser, how should I get started with connected TV advertising?
So I think it depends a little bit on your goals, whether you are looking for branding or performance. I mean, that's always the case, but in this case, the CTV case, you should, the goals defines a little bit the format. So are you going for the traditional commercial format or a more short-term video format, banners? Are you looking after endemic advertising? Are you looking for embedded advertising? All that, I mean, the possibilities in terms of in technical terms are pretty endless, and which one to pick really depends on what you're seeking to do. And then, so once you have that, you need to go to an inventory supplier. Now, there are different ones out there. This can be an operating system. So Roku, Samsung, Android TV, they all have their facilities to let you buy inventory. You could go for a streaming service, Hotstar, for example, or you could go to a DSP offering CTV inventory. The most prominent DSPs I know are Xandr and The Trade Desk. They have quite a bit of a connected TV inventory already. There might be something said for if you're a starter with connected TV to go for the DSP, because they can offer you knowledge in terms of targeting, and they're also a bit more independent in a sense that they mediate between the publishers and you as an advertiser.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I know that traditionally TV advertising has been sort of felt like a top of the funnel marketing tactic, but can you share a little bit about if CTV advertising can be a performance channel?
Well, that's why I brought up the goals, because it's something that is easily overlooked. And it was particularly if you're coming from, so to say, a more traditional TV background, you just say, TV's there for the brand uplift, so to say. But connected TV, because of its digital nature, has this potential for performance. There are many examples, but let me give you the example I'm most familiar with, which is dual screening. Now, let me go a little bit into details here. A TV device is a laid-back device. People watch TV in their comfortable chairs, on their couches, maybe even in their beds. they're quite passive, and they consume passively whatever, okay, now because it's on demand, they make very conscious choices about what they're getting, but still they're not heavily engaged with the device. If you compare to mobile, I mean, we're all constantly, like this on our mobile, and we're doing stuff and we're combining different tasks. That doesn't happen on a connected TV device. Now, what that means for performance is that one of the ways to make sure that you reach your performance goals with CTV advertising is that you, so to say, implement a call to action that happens on the mobile device and not on the connected TV device. And then the connected TV device is, so to say, the device on which the product is presented, the story is told, and the call to action is embedded, so we say here. And then what you do is you try to get the users to take some action on the device they are already, engaged on. They're used to be engaged on, which is the mobile phone. Now you can do this by via QR code, for example. You can, for example, if you're promoting an app, and I've seen gaming companies do this, but also Burger King had a wonderful commercial with this, where you could, just directly scan a QR code that was displayed in the connected TV ad. But you can also think about voucher codes and push notifications. What lies behind all this is the phenomenon of dual screening. Now, at Adjust, we did research on this, and in most of the countries we scheduled, we did the research, it turned out that users are actually watching TV, watching connected TV with their mobile phones at least at hand, and often using their mobile phones while watching TV, because they chat about what they see, they respond to what they see. The connected TV operating systems are already leveraging this by turning the mobile phone into a remote control for the connected TV devices, right? So you download an app, and you select the channel or the streaming service or whatever you want to do on your connected TV device, and you do so via the app on the mobile phone. Now that makes a connection, and it's now, if you want performance, basically all you have to do is surf on this bridge between the mobile and the connected TV device. Sorry, that was a very, very long answer. But just to keep it short, dual screening is a reality. People are highly engaged on their mobile devices. So what you should try to do as an advertiser is use the advantages of the connected TV screen and get a call to action in your ads there. And then, let the mobile phones do their magic.
Yeah, I am definitely guilty of having my phone by my side while watching on my connected TV. So I know that feeling. And I think you really answered my next question too, which is how does your messaging change when advertising on CTV? But if you have anything else in that regard that you want to share, that would be great. But I do think you answered that question.
Well, I mean, I think if you try to prophesize a little bit and look at how this will work out in the long run, I mean, I've already seen Chinese streaming services putting ads directly into content, so there's no break anymore between the commercial content and the real content, so to say. What you get is that you're watching a movie and you see an actor walking through a street, and then what you could do as an advertiser is put an ad just directly into the movie, And you can localize this. You might even be able to individualize this, and you can put. I mean, there are all sorts of examples. Maybe people meet in your favorite TV show and friends or something, and there's a leaflet on the coffee table where they meet, and you can put an ad in this coffee table. Well, if you try to think that through and see what we're going. I think we're not that far off of, so to say, directly buying off the screen, which means that you're watching a movie. Say you're seeing the next, along a Bollywood movie, and you like the music that is played. Then you'll be able to download that music, or to somehow mark that music. Go to the music on Spotify. Make sure you can replay it, or you like the clothes people are wearing, and you'll be able to directly buy the clothes off the screen using your mobile phone.
Wow, that is a really interesting and cool world we have
ahead
of ourselves. Awesome. Well, I guess I'm getting to kind of the biggest question that we're obviously very interested in is, how can you measure your results from connected TV advertising?
Okay, so the traditional way of doing this, I mean, this is all relatively new. So there's a lot of legacy approaches to measurement out there. Is to get some kind of a probabilistic measurement based on region and time slots, and so okay, my commercial was shown to the following audience at the following time in the following region. And then you can enrich this with panel research. And get people to tell, well, how well known is the brand now? That's all good. And if you're looking for information about a brand lift, then that is something you can use. However, there's a problem with this if you apply a more holistic campaign, which is, let's face it, that is what most marketers do these days. You're not promoting your product on one channel, you're promoting them on a variety of channels. So along with a CTV campaign, you probably have a campaign of Facebook and Google, maybe some in-app advertising, maybe you have some display advertising for desktop. And you want to know how your connected TV campaigns fit in there, So you want to see how connected TV stands out compared to the other channels. So who's giving me most users? Is it connected TV? Is it Hotstar, or is it Facebook? And maybe more importantly is how connected TV assists the other channels. Now, what do I mean with assisting? Suppose you see that you have an X amount of users finding to your product via Facebook. What you could do then is, there's a huge chance that a segment of these Facebook audiences have seen your connected TV ads as well, because people go across various channels too. What you would want to know then is, and to really define the added value of connected TV, is say, okay, now I'm going to look at that segment of people who came in via Facebook that have seen connected TV ad, and the segment that hasn't. Which segment is spending more money? Which segment is subscribing faster? Which segment has the highest retention rate? Those are the questions that you need, to find the real added value of connected TV. Those are the questions you want answered. And most of the legacy measurement solutions out there cannot provide that. So a better solution, if you're doing holistic campaigning across multiple channels, then the best way is to find a measurement provider that is capable of measuring across all those channels and that allows you to see how CTV performs across all those channels.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I have just one last kind of fun question for you that I'm wondering, which is, what are you currently streaming?
I still haven't fully recovered from the final of Game of Thrones. I know it's been a while, but I'm still suffering a bit. I mean, the Champions League football has started again, so I resubscribed to DAZN, which is a European streaming provider that has the rights for the Champions League. And I really like the way they do marketing, teasing you with summaries of the highlights of matches, and you really get in the mood for. They really got me into the mood of watching Champions League football again. And something I'm looking forward to in particular is what Amazon is going to do with Lord of the Rings, because they have I think it's the highest budget ever for a TV series. They released one screenshot. It looked amazing. And I've been a Tolkien nerd since I was 13. That is, yeah, something to look forward to.
Hopefully they release that soon. I think we've been teased about it for like 3 years now. So hopefully we get it soon.
Yeah. And it needs to heal the wounds of the Game of Thrones. So.
That would be the goal. Well, thank you so much. This was such an interesting conversation. I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Gijsbert and Sarah. That was a super insightful conversation. Some of my big takeaways are almost 18% of Indian households own a streaming device or a smart TV. And considering the population of India, 18% is a very, very big number. Ad revenue is expected to triple by 2026, which is just around 5 years around the corner. This is very, very exciting. Thank you so much for sharing these insights with us. And a big shout out to Adjust for making this conversation happen, and all you lovely people for joining us today.